Okay, so our veins are carrying blood back to the heart. And so when we look at the circulation, remember that we have arterioles, specifically terminal arterioles, that are allowing blood to go into the capillaries. So we have, at the other end of the capillaries, we have what are called venules. So these carry blood leaving the capillaries. Notice that for some reason they got rid of the I. So there is no I in the venules. So those would be kind of just like the arterioles, but because they're small, but the venules are going to then combine into larger and larger vessels as blood is transported back to the heart. When we look at some of the characteristics of venules and veins in general, is that they have thin walls. This decreases friction and resistance, and they tend to have a large lumen. So this causes a decrease in the resistance to blood flow. They have very little smooth muscle. Because they do not need to vasoconstrict or vasodilate because they're not shunting blood to any particular region of the body. They're just going back to the heart. When we also look at the veins, they have valves. And this is the only blood vessels that have valves. This prevents backflow of blood. They also tend to be associated with skeletal muscles. So sometimes this is referred to as the muscular pump. So you might have experienced the problem of standing in one place and not moving for long periods of time. Your blood will tend to pool in your lower extremities, like in your feet, right? And when you move, when you walk, or just simply move your body, the contractions of the muscles actually helps to move the blood back towards the heart. And so that is a pumping, kind of a milking action. As the muscles move, they help to move that blood. And as it moves up into one region, and then you stop moving and the blood flows back down, it's the valves that prevent the backflow of it all the way down towards your feet. We also have a respiratory pump. So when we breathe, we use our muscles between our ribs, our intercostal muscles, and we also use our diaphragm and our abdominal muscles. And what this does is this changes pressure in the thoracic region. And that change in pressure actually helps to move the blood back towards the heart. So it changes in the pressure associated with like ventilating your lungs in the thoracic cavity helps to move the blood back towards the heart. Oops, sorry, it's not picking that up. Heart must be probably the way I am writing it. Okay, so let's look at a diagram of the veins. You remember that the arteries had 3 layers, and so do veins. So they have the endothelium. We have very little smooth muscle, just a couple of layers. And then we have this connective tissue covering right here. You'll also notice that the veins have valves. So if we look at a picture of that, the valves are actually part of the endothelium. So this is a valve, and then this is showing how the muscular pump works. So when we walk or when we move around, the pump will help to move that blood back towards the heart. So if you've ever like had to sit in a plane for like hours and hours and hours, you'll find that you'll get swelling in your feet and in your legs, and it becomes actually quite painful. So getting up and moving around will actually help to decrease the amount of swelling. So for example, once you get off the plane, walking around rather than sitting right back down is a good idea because it helps to get rid of that excess fluid buildup in your lower extremities.